Hey everyone, today we're doing something a little different, and we're in space on a mothership, in which we're just going to do some repairing, and we'll go over the kind of the benefits of engaging in this activity. So it's a real easy way to build up some crafting skills for starters, and that's why most people do it. You mainly that engineering right there that we just got, because at any crafting level 10, you unlock blueprint comprehension. And so that's a pretty easy path is through the repairing. We'll get mechanics, which we see also, and that goes towards the mechanical engineer. All those EP crafters have pretty good mechanics scores. But the big thing is mechanics goes into robot looting. And then we'll also get some electronics. It's not as prevalent as far as skill ups from repairing. I think it's like 3% as opposed to mechanics, which is around 7 or 8% on the tool use. But both those go into the robot looting, which can be costly to build up otherwise, since they're crafting skills. The downside to the repairing is that you don't actually get anything back that's not a skill, right? So we buy this tool, we buy the welding wire, or craft them, because someone has to, but we buy them. We'll burn them up using the tool and everything, repairing the ship. We won't get anything in return item-wise. And so the only thing we're really getting out of this is these skills. And most of them have pretty reasonable markup. The mechanics and the engineering, I think the engineering is like 1600%, 1800%, somewhere in that zone right now. It obviously fluctuates supply and demand and all that jazz. But I think this is the cheapest way to build up that mechanics and electronics score for the robot looting. In fact, let's see what all goes into the robot looting and see what all we're actually getting here. Oh, we'll get some serendipity from this. And dexterity, I think, because we're using a tool. And so I think periodically we'll get a small boost up on that as well. And then if we happen to pilot the ship, we'll get the perception and computer. Obviously, right now someone else is piloting. Um, but that'll drive that up a little bit. And so you get a bunch of crafting skills. That vehicle engineer, vehicle technology is pretty important there. And so if you wanted to craft vehicles, repairing a ship is probably the fastest way in to the right skills. And I think the last unlock there is at like a level 30. And so it's pretty easy to have all the skills unlocked, unlike some of them where you have to hit level 40, or I think it's 40 for the engineer unlocks. And then obviously that one at 60 for the scientists. The good news is these tools do last quite a while. Let me get actually onto the tool page here. Here we go. You see each click is not even 1/10 of a peck off the RK0, and I think it's around 5.5 ped of welding well per tool. And so the total cost is only like 13, 14 ped to break an entire tool, which will give you a pretty significant amount of skills. I mean, you can see we're getting a bunch of vehicle repairing because that's the main skill with using a repair tool, right? And then blueprint comprehension, mechanics, but it's a pretty solid amount of skills already. We did use a skill pill though, and so that always helps out with the amount of skill ups we're getting, which I do highly recommend if you have them when you're doing repair runs or crafting in general or any high pad flow through activity, just so that you can get the most out of it. And so when we're in flight and taking damage, you'll see we're starting, because we're on propulsion, it's starting to get out of whack with the other ones. And so we'll go ahead and relocate. Oh, it didn't click down. So we'll know that we're going from the propulsion room to... looks like the command center is lowest, so that's where we'll head next. And so we went from the propulsion, and we took the little shortcut back way up to the repair, or the reactor room here, which people will abbreviate with just like RR. And then we're up here to the command center, which is that CC. And then we're back at it, working through this tool. Yeah, I think each tool is like 8, 10 hours of repairing, depending on how fast you use the tool, aka if you have reload items or not. So you don't rip through ped too quickly until you move up into the RK20s and above. And we'll get intelligence, which goes into all the looter skills. And I'm pretty sure you get intelligence anytime you're using tools of any nature. You have a chance to get some intelligence gains. But yeah, this blueprint comprehension unlock at level 10 is super quick. I think it's like 3 or 4 tools up here, and I had that unlocked. And then after that, at level 30, you actually unlock serendipity if you haven't unlocked it through one of the combat classes. But you see, we pulled the command center up kind of a little above the other two. And so once it becomes too unbalanced, we'll go ahead and relocate to one of the other repair points, trying to keep it kind of balanced out for the pilot. Right now, it's looking like the hangar is going to be the one that we'll have to move to next. The other good thing about the repairing is with the mothership is once the repair point is down far enough, I mean, like, we could click on this and we got 10, 15 minutes for repairing. We could go get a small workout in. We could go start some dinner. And so it's nice to be able to do something that's relatively cheap, gains a pretty reasonable amount of skills, high value skills, skills that are kind of sought after a little bit, whether for your character or just for the markup. And you don't have to be all that, like, it's not like it's real action packed. And I think it takes about 40 minutes, like if we were to blow the ship up, I think it takes like 40, 45 minutes to repair each station. So you got some options on what you can do in that 40-minute block, is all I'm saying. Alright, looks like it's time to relocate. And normally you want to communicate that, but I'm the only repairer, and I figure he'll figure it out soon enough when that's the bar that starts moving up. Alright, well, I think we're going to wrap up here. I think we've conveyed the benefits of repairing as far as robot looting and crafting goes. I hope that everyone has an amazing day. Stay epic.